machinery, land, buildings and property. Norway is warning citizens to prepare for their property to be taken. The Norwegian Armed Forces have already sent preparatory requisition notices to about 13,500 people, warning that in the event of war, the government may take their vehicles, boats, machinery, land, buildings and property if needed to defend the country. Under Norwegian law, this is legal in wartime or an emergency. Now, that would never happen in the UK or Ireland though, right? Wrong. Both have emergency and wartime legal powers that allow the government to override normal property rights once a war or national emergency is declared. So if we're pulled into a war, we could lose what we own, our vehicles, our land, our homes, everything we've worked for. But worst of all, we could lose our sons. Ask yourself this, the people who are paid to represent you, to weigh decisions, to protect lives, to keep wars the last option, not the first, are they? This isn't speculation, it's history and law. In the UK, wartime laws like the Emergency Powers Defence Act of 1939 allowed the state to take over property. In Ireland, Article 28.3.3 of the Constitution allows emergency laws in times of war to override property rights as seen under the Emergency Powers Act. Now, you'll probably get compensation, but it'll be defined, controlled and possibly delayed by the state. It's not going to be in your terms. And what compensation? A dying, increasingly worthless fiat currency that can print and devalue. So you lose your real assets. They hand you devalued pieces of paper or numbers on a screen with little to no purchasing power, or maybe programmable CBDCs where they have the absolute power to control what you spend it on. Kind of clever though, right? Here's the reality. In law, you can't simply say no once a war or national emergency is declared. And all this is progressing with very, very little resistance from the public to tether the people in power to the people they represent. Remember, we're the many, they're the few. It's up to us. We need to demand hesitation, limits and transparency. The time to act is now. Make sure these people actually represent you. Prevention is the only protection before it's too late. The world's at war with a global fracturing and restructuring underway. Countries are securing energy, food, minerals, land, industry and strategic assets to protect their economies with a de facto currency reset underway. When states gather assets to stabilise systems, they don't just count gold and reserves. Private assets can be pulled into the equation. So the question is, will your assets be included in the tally? Norway is warning